Hi, good day. I would like to introduce to you an impressive rendition of the MU2 Mitsubishi by Flysimware. Now, I usually only include the best airplanes on my review channel, but I wanted to include this one because one, it's the only small regional class propeller airline other than the Majestic Dash 8 and the Milviz King Air that you can get for prepared version 5. So I was looking for a propeller aircraft that I could actually run on my PC, which is not the best graphics. So it doesn't require much graphics processing unit, graphics card, and it's actually an impressive rendition. So this airplane costs about $44, and I wanted one that has good system modeling. So this airplane is impressive. It's not the best like the Milviz King Air or the Majestic U400, but it has good qualities. So I wanted to show you what's going on. So let's have a look at the external model. The external model is made based on not extremely high resolution. It is high resolution, but not 4K graphics, which makes it suitable for low performance PCs. This is your aircraft options section. You can interface, you can add shocks to one wheel, you can open the door, you can add an external power unit. These are the kinds of features that I like, that bring to us great detail. This external power unit brings great quality. You can add the pilots if you like. You can remove them or add them. You can add 1 or 2 pilots. You can give them shades and pilots move. You can add passengers, which is I think that adding passengers is something that we all require and prepared right now. I believe that should be mandatory, adding passengers in your cabin. But you know, it's something that all developers must consider now. I like to fly with one pilot, so I will just remove him. This shows you how much fuel you have on your aircraft, but this airplane does not. I just noticed that I can actually roll the propeller with this. Why is that? Time I select it. Alright, you could also add your luggage. Now, one issue that I have with this is it's not a fuel and payload manager. It does not allow you to edit your fuel quantity, so you actually have to use the default prepared fuel manager, which is a definite drawback. Why can't you just load the amount of fuel that you want, and that's not available. You have to actually go and set the amount of fuel in each tank. So I like the external model, and I like this external ground power unit for this aircraft. Now the external model is supposed to be high fidelity, exactly as the real aircraft is. as the developers of Flysimware have been in collaboration with a real aircraft. Okay, so they're not doing anything by guess. It's not an artistic rendition, so to speak. They have been in collaboration with real pilot, detailing a real aircraft, and they got actually the sound of this airplane is also very nice, which is what they got from a real aircraft. So let's look inside the airplane now. So inside the airplane, the first thing that you realize is that the developers of Flysimware are not the best at graphics detail of the cockpit. This is ugly, you know. The real aircraft it's actually has a black panel, but this is not the best. I've seen aircraft that run the Majestic Dash 8 only requires a 512 megabyte video RAM graphics card. This one requires a 2 gigabyte graphic card, and Dash 8, the Q400 by Majestic software looks 3 times better than this. Okay, so this is actually substandard. I will just notify to you the bad points first. The good points is that most of these, 95% of these switches, these systems work. It's actually a good system modeling. None of these gauges here are fake. They all operate. And so I just compare to the best, because I like to know that I am using the best quality products. That's what I like to advertise for you, right? So the first drawback that we saw is the actual look of the place, right? It's not very good graphic detail. 2, some of these buttons don't work. The compass controls here don't work. I think this is something supposed to be under my control as the pilot. Spare fuse lamps. Actually, no, that's not actually, no. This here is under my consideration as a pilot. The compass controls, the DG, directional gyro. I'm supposed to open this and be able to control the directional gyro. That's supposed to be working. This is under my consideration as a pilot. The alternate static source, and it's not working. Don't know what these are. They don't work. I feel insulted when a developer makes a product, sells it for more than $40, and things in the cockpit don't function. I understand the circuit breakers. Alright, so I just wanted to get clear the bad points first. Other than these bad points where the graphics can be improved, and the buttons that don't work, let me show you a couple more. This manual pressure, decrease or increase. I can't increase manually the pressure of the pressurization system. This is the environmental system here. And a couple other things. One of the issues that this aircraft has is that if I save a flight, right, and I want to, and I am at 29 flight level 290, 29,000 feet in the air, and I save my flight and I close off the game and I load the flight back, the cockpit configuration state does not save. A lot of the things revert back to normal. Most importantly, the fuel transfer switches revert to off. these fuel transfer switches are supposed to be in auto to allow the engine to remove fuel from the tip tanks and the left and right wing tanks. By default, if the transfer switches are off, the aircraft will only receive fuel from the center tank, and that's bad. You're supposed to remove from the tip tanks and the wing tanks, and then so it's supposed to be an auto. When I return to my flight, these are off, so that it can easily be forgotten. Alright, so those were the bad points. Now let's look at the good points. Other than those bad points, I wanted to notify you of those bad points first, because other than those, this is a fantastic aircraft. That's why I call it impressive. Alright, one more thing I wanted to consider that is bad is that if I run the engines, this system does not have engine wear and tear and system engine failure model like a Milvers aircraft, say like the Milvers Porter or the Milvers Turbo Otter or the Milvers King Air. If you increase when you take off and you put full throttle and that torque goes to 120, it will destroy the engine and your engine will fail, and you would just end up in the cornfield after the runway, right? That's happened to me many times with Milvers, and that is the kind of dynamic performance, the dynamic engine features that we want in this day and age of flight sim, and this aircraft does not have that. Okay, but the feature where you can't increase your throttle to full on takeoff because you have to keep the torque underneath 100. You have to monitor your torque performance. That is included in this aircraft. So it's realistic in that sense. Okay. All right. Let me have a look at the cabin. Now, a full operations manual is available for this aircraft for download freely from another site of the real aircraft. Okay, so that's where you get all of your performance information from. That's where you get all of your systems descriptions and everything from. That's where you get your cruise data setting. The Flysimware has not included performance tables. They have not included any flight planning data. They have not included any systems model, any kind of manual. The manual for this airplane is just some generic thing that talks a little bit about the systems, about the features of the airplane, and nothing more. So in terms of documentation of this airplane that you get with the aircraft is very poor. But as I said, you get your operations manual of the real Mitsubishi MU2, the real official manual online, and that problem is solved. So I don't like to I like to complain where I talk about what are the substandard things about the airplane, but when it comes to actually supporting the developers and just being glad that they made something for me and for us as flights and the flight sim community, that's what I'm happy about. I don't accept crap, but I am eager to congratulate and be happy for what the developer has given to us, and I'm happy for this. This is actually one of my airplanes that I fly, and I'm happy. The graphic resolution of this cabin is not going to eat up your video RAM. So the airplane actually runs really nicely with great frame rates. I have no issue. So I'm not going to complain about the low resolution textures of the cabin because they're not spoiling my PC performance whatsoever. But I've actually seen a little bit better, I've seen a little bit better. I believe that the developers of Flysimware harness some of the talent that is available out there for, or teach themselves or something, you know. But it's good. I like it. I just believe that you can just be a little bit better, you know, in terms of a better appearance. It looks kind of substandard. Alright, so let's go ahead now, start the engines. No, first we have to go to the fuel and payload. Remember, this aircraft doesn't have a fuel and payload manager, so I have to go to the default settings, and now I have to enter everything by hand, which is not good. You should be able to set these things for me. I don't know how much fuel should be in each tank and this kind of thing. You are the expert, the developers are the expert. I should just say how much fuel I want on board, and that's how much is filled, right? Let's remove these passengers. All great add-ons have fuel and payload managers. It's just mandatory. You cannot develop an aircraft without a fuel and payload manager, especially a complex aircraft such as this. Okay. Great thing about it is that you got a checklist similar to FS 2004 standard. So I like this checklist. You just place it on the left side and you're able to scroll around your screen and look. So let's go do some touch and goes. Okay, we'll go see what's up. So before starting checklist, let's make sure that our doors are closed, the shocks are off, and our GPU is on. Spinning up pilot. Passenger briefing, complete seats. This is the radio master switch here. Battery switch on. Let's remove the GPU. Oh yeah, I wanted to speak about one more thing. The environmental sounds are very nice. Okay, each switch, these switches have nice sounds. One more bad thing about this aircraft is that, who says I wanted to turn on all of them at the same time? What sort of freeware thing is this? What's this? Pitot static. Who says I want to turn on both of them at the same time? Landing lights. Who says I want to turn on both of them at the same time? Don't assume that. That's not realistic. Okay, there's no such thing as this. That's not simulation. That's a game. It's called a simulator. Right? And you're lucky this thing works. Because if this did not work, I would have thrown this airplane away. Lucky. I would have liked this. What's this? That does not work. Why doesn't this work? Too many things do not work. Right? It's a simulator. It's called study level simulation. And the study level things for $44 US dollars, the study level things that are not available, including a fuel and payload manager. This nonsense here. And these buttons that don't work, my DG compass settings, whatever this is here, are not acceptable. Alright, this airplane could have easily been sold for $30 in this state. It is not worth $44. If you take my recommendations, then it's worth $44. So let's go back to the very nice sound system. I like that. Inverter switch on, nice. Fuel quantity check, cabin sign, snap lights on. Okay, so let's start the engine. You have to make sure that run left, cranks air start switch or safe is on the right side. Hold it for a while. This has a very nice realistic start procedure, and this engine sound is very nice, very nice. Right, make sure that you don't get a hot start. If you get a hot start, then stop the engine start or turn off the fuel or something. I don't know how to do that, but it's very nice. Remember, I stated all the bad things, but the reason why I call this an impressive aircraft is because despite all those bad things, there's something damn good about it, okay? And the only reason why I only call it impressive is because these are the things that are wrong with it. It doesn't have a good graphic, it doesn't have a nice looking cabin. This is they're calling me stupid with this one, right? I'm a donkey now, right? Okay, so I'm a donkey, alright. And this here, one at a time, please, one at a time. I'm supposed to be able to switch both, like this. See? Both. I like switching both. Right? Right, so that's my left engine, that's my right engine started. Right for the left now. Oops, nope. Generator, reset and on. Alright, so these voltmeter switches actually work. Engine. Here's where you can control the lights. You can have the cabin lights and the cockpit lights. I don't know what this is here, but I think that's the vent. Right, I'm supposed to be able to control this. It's not available. That's both my engines started. Yeah, start switch on. Alright, so the starter locks are supposed to be disengaged. You disengage the starter locks after start by placing the throttle reverser into reverse 10%. After start, and that unlocks it. If that does not unlock, then you get the issue where you can't use the engine. It just reverts back to ground idle. You can't use the throttle at all. Right, so after start checks. Set them on. Voltmeter checked. Transfer right. See the fuel transfer switch, very important. Auto allows the airplane to remove fuel from the left and right and tip tanks. I don't know what this is, but it doesn't look very impressive. But it's okay because you don't really need all that graphics eating up your video RAM. I like systems modeling more than textures and appearance. If this thing had a good engine failure and wear and tear setting, then that would have been better. Right, let's go to our environmental system. I'm not hearing the air condition. I don't know why. Why am I not hearing the air condition? I should be hearing like a fan blowing and stuff like that. Maybe that's the way it is. Let's test the anti-ice systems. Left prop. Right. Right prop. Let's test the payload static. Left. Right. Let's test the stall main. Right. Speak up and test. I don't know how to do that yet. All these tests, I'm not sure how to do that. I've noticed that this airplane does not have a flap indicator. I did not read the manual too much, but I don't see a flap indicator anywhere. Autopilot. I don't know how to do these autopilot checks and so on. Trim tabs. The manual would have told me, but I did not read it. As I said, the airplane did not come with a manual, but I have access to a real one to know if the airplane actually simulates these things properly. Start locks disengaged. I disengaged them already.
Southwest 157 with you. Southwest 1573, Los Angeles Center, roger.
This thing here works with the weather, the Milbis weather advantage radar.
TOS system test OK.
We will just do some touch and goes at runway 7. It's a very nice taxi feel. In order to prevent the airplane from speeding up, it has a tendency to speed up when the throttles are closed. I just press F2 once on the keyboard to just bring it into reverse a little bit, and that allows it to hold the airspeed. Sorry, ground speed. I like it. The reason why I'm complaining is because I'm just reviewing the substandard bits. It has substandard qualities about it, and I'm letting the developers know that it is substandard. It's not really, it needs to be better. For $44, this should be an in-depth system simulation of the Mitsubishi MU2. And these cartoonish things here are not required. I've checked the real airplane on YouTube and I've seen that the sound is very nice. It's good. I like the sound. I like it. The sound is what brings the airplane alive for me.
Touch and go. 0 cleared for takeoff. Runway 7. Touch and go. Right traffic approved. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 7. 0.
push full throttle because you will exceed the torque limit. You have to keep it. You have to keep it at about 90 degrees torque, percent torque. That destroys the engine. That's the case with all turboprops. At 400, you begin to retract flaps. Has a very nice flap sound. Dynamics are very smooth. I like it. I like this simulation. It's very rewarding. You know, then you always have to notice that the graphics quality are not very nice, but it's acceptable. Does not interfere with your video RAM. Okay, so we're down. Let's prepare to during our before approach checklist.
Zero clear, touching down right traffic, runway 7.
500.
Control the airplane on the ground. I don't know why. My rudder was not working on the ground. I had to pull the brakes. I had to press the brakes in order to get it to steer on the ground. I couldn't steer it on the ground. I don't know why. I'll check on that next landing.
Santa Barbara Tower, 0 to land. 0 Santa Barbara Tower.
My yaw damper, it was behaving as if the yaw damper was on, but that's not on.
Enter right downwind, runway 7, 0.
I could have run off the runway. I actually thought that the yaw damper was on, but the yaw damper is on. What is it doing? What is it doing? Why is my yaw damper on? I did not turn it on. Maybe I did. Oh boy. I could have crashed. Maybe I did. When I was checking the autopilot, I turned it on by mistake. That's crashed big time. I could not control the airplane on the ground. Okay, before landing checks. Ignition on. Ignition levels full, single phase on. Brakes checked.
0 cleared to land, runway 7.
Okay.
Cleared to land, runway 7, 0.
So what do you think? No engine wear and tear modeling, no engine failure modeling, no fuel in Payload Manager. That lights thing where all of them switch on at the same time. But I find it nice, I find it impressive. I refer to this airplane as impressive. I find it to be very, very classy and representative of the real thing. The sound is very nice, the external model is very nice, and that GPU brings it all together. The ground power unit, you know, the gauges, all of the gauges work. The exception of my DG controls here and there, and my lights switch on top here, you know. it. I like it. If I were to go to Flysimware now and recommend the improvements that they need, I must have a fuel and payload manager. It's mandatory. All of my DG Mantos buttons must work for me, especially my alternate static source. Just if they can ask someone to get some better textures modeling, graphics modeling of a cockpit. I believe it's a little bit too low quality. You know, it shows that the artistic rendition is not good, because the skill of that developer is poor in that area. They need to develop their skills in that area a little bit. Please allow me to put some passengers in the cabin that are displayed from outside the airplane. There you have it. It's a good rendition of a nice aircraft. So I wanted something that was smaller. I wanted a good turboprop that was smaller than the Dash 8, that could go into small runways. For prepared version 5, that is a good quality. The Mavis King is a little bit too intensive for my system, so I can't use that. So this is the next best thing, but I just wanted to point out why isn't this the best airplane. It's because of these substandard features. Oh yeah, the land lights actually make the noise opening and closing. Nice airplane by Flysimware. Flysimware can easily enter into the arena of high definition, high quality, study level sims. You see, the mistake that they make is that they don't understand that everything must be study level. You can't make substandard things, and that's what will be the problem. This is not study level. It's used here. Our fuel and payload manager is not study level. We must have that. We must have that. Get a better person to make the graphics resolution, you know. And you can't tell me that low quality stuff does not look good because the Majestic Dash 8 only requires a 512 megabyte graphic card. I can play with that thing on best graphics all day, no problem. See, so a nice aircraft. The sound is very good. So sound modeling is very good. This works. button noises, nice. But I'll do it slow. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Alright, so let's shut down the engine. All levers, ground idle. Shut down the engine, you just press the middle mouse button on this and it shuts it down. And then place the controls, the throttle into reverse, and that engages the starter locks. Right. So I like it. I'm still calling it impressive. Right? Impressive aircraft. I showed you the ups and the downs, and I mentioned that I like it, and I actually fly it. Okay? Thanks for watching my review. Consider subscribing for more.